Mitoma has always been linked to Arsenal, and we are just waiting to see whether these links are really real when it comes to the summer transfer window, because we know that we are not far away from the summer transfer window, because on the 1st of July teams will be really selling players. But even after the end of the league, you'll see to it that there's going to be a little bit of activity between June and the 1st of July. Then the 1st of July, these deals will be made official, but teams will be allowed to make signings between 1st June and 30th June, because business won't be really given green light by then. But if at all you sign your player and obviously know that you've agreed terms with the team who is coming in from the player, you put pen to paper. So you'll only submit those papers on the beginning of July, that is 1st of July 2022. Then it will run for July, August. Not so. I think that's it, because the transfer window is almost it's always 3 months. So let's wait and see when it is starting, and then we'll be coming in here and let you know how the transfer is really going to be conducted and run. But today we bring you Mitoma to Arsenal barrier that is acting like an obstacle for him to join Arsenal, being revealed by one of the ex-players of Aston Villa. You've known him for talking trash. But this time around, I want to see whether you guys are in tune with him or not. We are talking about Zinchenko, Bukayo Saka, and lastly, we are talking a little bit of Tottenham Hotspur. Welcome to the Transfer News Show, as Tottenham Hotspur is going to hate to announce the departure or the mutual departure of Antonio Conte from the club after coming out and really attacking the club publicly. Obviously, he had created his exit door out of the club of Tottenham Hotspur. So smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. It's a Monday, and it's the 27th of March. 4 days left to really come to the end of this month. To my Muslim friends, happy Ramadan. That's it. Then my Christian friends, that especially the Catholics who are really fasting, I think we're left with some, are they 2 weeks to reach Easter? That's it. So guys, thank you very much for watching it through, and let's get into this Mitoma. Mitoma is 25 years of age. He's a Japanese, and this week he played in the game of Uruguay versus Japan. It ended 1-1. He never played 90 minutes, taken off, and I think this week that we've started today, they are going to play Colombia. He's a very brilliant player. Has gone ahead to play 20 games in the Premier League, scored 6 goals and provided 3 assists. Almost in 20 games, he's having 20 goal involvement. So him being linked to Arsenal has been always in the news, but we've been told the following by Agbenelo. He had advised him on joining Arsenal, and this was his advice. Mitoma has been excellent, obviously, for Brighton, but it's so different when you go to a top club. We've seen it so many times with players who can't do it at the higher level after making the step up. He continued and said, just because you've got a good season doesn't mean you are instantly going to succeed when you move for 60 million pounds to 70 million pounds. I think Mitoma should stay at Brighton another season and go to the next level, because they are a club on top. Now, I would like to address Agbenloha in a very respectful way. You know, every human on planet Earth is entitled to his or her own opinion, but one thing I've always seen is players that tend to flop at those clubs where they have gone tend to be changing managers a lot. Those clubs are not having stability. You get? When you look at Arsenal, ever since they brought in Mikel Arteta, I think it's only one player that has gone ahead to flop, according to me. That player is Willian. Willian came in through, played some 3 good debuts for Arsenal, and then the rest of the season he was really crap. He crumbled, and as for the rest of the players that Mikel Arteta has gone ahead to sign, they've gone ahead to perform very well. Let me read you the list. Ramsdale, performing very well. This is his 2nd season. Ben White, Gabriel Magalhaes. You get? Look at Saliba. Because for me, he had never played any game for Arsenal. It's Mikel Arteta that's going to hate to give him the chance. Though he was not signed by Mikel Arteta, he was signed in 2019 and loaned back to League One. I believe Mikel Arteta has given him playing time. So to me, I see him as a signing of Mikel Arteta, though he never signed him, but he has given him playing time. You get? Look at Zinchenko. You get? Hitting the ground running. Thomas Partey, Martin Odegaard, Gabriel Jesus, Fabio Vieira. Which other player? Those are 9. Nuno Tavares. Not that a flop, because there is no flop you can sell close to 40 million euros. Because if Arsenal is to sell Nuno Tavares, they can get close to 30 million euros from him. Which other players Arsenal signed? Marquinhos is on loan, 19 years of age. He was a prospect, one for the future. Then Matt Turner, you look at him, he's a very brilliant goalkeeper, decent. Look at Leandro Trossard, hitting the ground running. Jakub Kivio is just here, so we cannot judge him until he starts his season, but looks like a promising player. Look at Jorginho. So I think that narrative of Gabi Agbelenoha applies on teams like Chelsea, because Chelsea are having owners that are really trigger happy. It was even the problem that was at Manchester United when they used to sack very many managers and players really went ahead to flop, because the first players that were signed when Sir Alex Ferguson left, Juan Mata was signed by David Moyes. I think he long lasted at the club. Which other players still at the club of Manchester United? Fellaini left, the Schneiderlings left. So few players are still at the club that we are signed by those managers, because each and every time the manager comes in through, he just changes the system, and every manager comes in with his favorite players. So when you look at Mikel Arteta, he can integrate Mitoma into that Arsenal side very, very well, because he has given Arsenal a sense of confidence. Arsenal are really confident. The fans are now confident of Mikel Arteta, that he can take them to the dream world. You get? The board of Arsenal is also willing to back him season in, season out. So I see that reason of Agbelenoha not being sounding. You know, that is not going to really, that we've seen very many players flop. Players flop because the managers that bought them just find themselves out of the club, and then new managers come in through, new managers come in with their favorite players and new systems that either favor these players or not. We've seen very many changes coming in at decent clubs. You get? Each and every time a manager comes in through, he tries to really build his entire team. For Mikel Arteta, he has built his team. When you look at that starting 11 of Arsenal, he has close to 6-7 players that he signed himself. Ramsdale, Ben White 2, Gabriel Magalhaes, Zinchenko 4, Thomas Partey 5, Odegaard 6, Jesus 7. So 7 players that he signed, almost 8 if I told you add their Trossard, that are starting in his lineup. So very many have been thrown under the bus. You know that very well. Aubameyang, Mesut Ozil, Lacazette, Hector Bellerin. Not because they never had the quality, but every manager wants to come in and stamp his authority into that dressing room by building on his own soldiers that has really gone ahead to bring at the club. So I don't buy that narrative that Agbelenoha is really trading about Mitoma. I think at that level of his and him working on TalkSport, it's really naive for him to come out and really say that, because that only applies to teams that are really having unstable management. One thing that would have gone ahead to capitalize on is that 70-80 million pounds that is rumored to be the price that Brighton would be really willing to sell Mitoma. If he based it on the price, I would have gone ahead and said, all right, he's partially right, because very many players are affected by the price at which they are being bought. We know that very well. So I think for that, he would have had like 40% of my support. But for him coming in at Arsenal and flopping because of going to a team and flopping like other players, I rule it out. I rule it out, because Mitoma is really a player, Premier League proven, and he's not coming from outside clubs of the Premier League. These players Premier League proven. Look at Leandro Trossard. You get? I think Mitoma will have a very decent welcome and atmosphere at Arsenal, because when you look at Mitoma, he'll find Trossard. Trossard has been a teammate with Mitoma. They've been playing together this season, so that shows you exactly that they can really get along together and he'll really feel at home, not isolated at Arsenal. So to me, I think there are very many factors that can really see Mitoma thrive at Arsenal, because he's a typical Mikel Arteta player. So let's wait and see how the transfers will go, whether he will go to Arsenal or not. But I've downplayed, or I've watered down that narrative of Agbenelo. Now, after losing 2-0, Zinchenko had the following to say about Bukayo Saka. Saka was named the man of the match, and he said that Bukayo Saka is on fire at the moment. I wish him that until the end of the season, like I said already, there are no friends on the pitch. Unfortunately, he beat me today, but I'll take revenge in the reverse fixture. Obviously, Zinchenko is trying to refer to Bukayo Saka, and he wants to keep the fire burning, because the moment he keeps the fire burning, it's going to give Arsenal winning the Premier League. Now, again, Zinchenko had the following to say that on if Saka is the best player at the moment. He said, in the EPL, I'm not that guy who's going to judge, but he's one of them for sure. I hope he's on his form for the rest of the season, because he's such an important player for Arsenal, as we have 10 more finals to go. So that is Zinchenko saying that they have more 10 finals to go, and those finals against Liverpool, Leeds, Southampton, Chelsea, Man City, Newcastle, Brighton, Wolverhampton Wanderers. There is which other two teams left? So 10 finals to go. So it shows you that this game is out of the head of Zinchenko, and Zinchenko is only focusing on to winning the Premier League with Arsenal. And he knows that if at all Bukayo Saka keeps deciding games, as always gonna hate to decide them, then they are really going to be winning the Premier League trophy. But guys, I'm sorry to say this, but I see no reason as to why Arsenal is not going to win the trophy. Do you know why? Even in the international break, they've not gotten any injury. Yesterday, when Spain was playing Norway, Rodri had a very bad tackle on Odegaard, but Odegaard played the entire 90 minutes. Thomas Partey playing for Ghana and has not yet gotten an injury. Jorginho playing for Italy, not getting injured. Saka has gotten his job done today with Ramsdale. They're returning back to London Conley. You get? Granit Xhaka is another one who is soon going to play his last game and then return to London Conley. You get? Arsenal is really good, and I think they're really in the best shape of their life to really win the trophy. So I believe if Bukayo Saka stays in his form, as Saka's gonna hate to really comment or reveal, then Arsenal won't be stopped from winning the trophy. And that's it we had for Arsenal. Let's go to Tottenham Hotspur. Obviously, they've sacked their manager known as Antonio Conte, and Christian Stenili will have his chance to be in charge until the end of the season as Tottenham Hotspur coach, while board will look for new manager for the season of 2023-2024. Spurs list includes 4 out of 5 options. Tuchel was there, but he joined Bayern Munich. Mason will be Stanley's assistant. That's it. So Christian Stenili, who has been an assistant of Antonio Conte, is going to be in charge until the end of the season. Now, Daniel Levy had the following to say about the situation. He informed us that we have 10 Premier League games remaining. We have a fight on our hands for the Champions League place. We all need to pull together. Everyone has to step up to ensure the highest possible finish for the club and amazing loyal supporters. That's Daniel Levy, the owner of Spurs. And lastly, we've been told by Matt Law of the Daily Telegraph that it's understood that Antonio Conte gave his blessings for all to Christian Stenili to stay in his absence and helps Tottenham Hotspur attempt to achieve their goal of qualifying for the next Champions League. Now, Stenili, if at all you don't know him, he's the coach that managed that game of Man City and he beat Man City by 1-0. So he's been a coach. He has managed Tottenham Hotspur a few games when Antonio Conte underwent a surgery on the gallbladder, and he has been away. Then he returned, but he forced his move out of Tottenham Hotspur. So let's wish him the best of luck and see whether they'll really fulfill that dream. So guys, your thoughts on Mitoma to Arsenal obstacle are welcome in the comment section below. Do you believe in what Agbenloha is saying? Or you are on my side, you are watering it down? Then your thoughts on Bukayo Saka and Zinchenko coming out and be revealing to us that if at all Bukayo Saka keeps his form, he's going to lead Arsenal to the 20-decade lost glory of lifting the Premier League. So Rokani David remains my name. Good morning, my mates. May the Almighty bless you abundantly. I sign out for now. See you later, my Muslim friends. Ramadan Mubarak, and enjoy your month of Ramadan, because through fasting is how God gets to know that we are really obedient to him. Bye bye.